Evan Carter's phone lit up at 11:58 p.m., casting a cold glow across his Denver loft's kitchen. The text from Lila, his wife of 8 years, hit like a blade. "I'm gone, Evan. Found someone who gets me. Your stuff's in storage." A screenshot showed $200,000 transferred from their joint account to hers. His coffee mug, still warm, nearly slipped from his hand. Lila was supposed to be at a tech conference in San Francisco. Instead, she'd obliterated their life with a single message. At 40, Evan was a forensic accountant, a master at sniffing out financial lies. He'd seen the red flags, Lila's new designer outfits, hushed calls that stopped when he entered, her obsession with networking events. At 36, she traded her graphic design career for a vague consulting gig, always dodging details. He'd hoped it was ambition, not betrayal. He typed back, "Nice try." Setting the phone down, his mind shifted to strategy. The loft was silent, the city skyline glittering beyond the windows. A photo from their 2015 wedding sat on the counter, Lila's radiant smile now a cruel irony. They'd met at a Denver tech mixer, her wit and drive pulling him in. He'd bankrolled her dreams, from her startup ideas to their Cherry Creek loft. His mother's warning echoed from a visit last year, "Evan, she's spending your money like it's hers. Be careful." He'd laughed it off. Mistake number 1. Evan opened his laptop, logging into an encrypted email account Lila didn't know existed. 4 bank alerts waited. Lila had tried accessing his private accounts, ones he'd shielded with trusts and LLCs. Bold move, he thought, almost impressed. He'd quietly restructured his finances years ago, sensing her growing distance. Lila knew their joint accounts, nothing more. He called his brother, Nate, a cybersecurity whiz. "That contingency plan we made?" Evan said, voice steady. "It's go time." "You sure?" Nate asked, instantly awake. "She took $200,000 and thinks she's free," Evan said. "Find me everything on Logan Pierce." "Who?" "Her Better Life." Evan had spotted Logan's name in Lila's emails, a charming tech CEO with a startup, Pierce Tech, that screamed hype over substance. Her business trips always aligned with his events. Last month, she'd missed Evan's promotion dinner, claiming a client emergency. She'd sent a $3,000 watch as an apology. That night, Evan had finalized his emergency plan. The signs were screaming. He just wanted to believe her. Morning light filtered through the loft. Evan brewed coffee, the routine grounding him. He logged into his financial system, a custom tool for his clients but tweaked for personal use. With a few clicks, he froze all joint accounts and flagged the $200,000 transfer as fraud, leveraging bank contacts to expedite the process. He emailed his lawyer, Rachel, with evidence of Lila's withdrawal and instructions, "File for divorce. Protect my assets." Then he called his mother. "Lila's gone," he said. "Took the money, moved my stuff out." She sighed. "I saw this coming. What's your plan?" "What I do best," Evan said. "Uncover the truth." His phone buzzed. "Lila, Evan, this is a mistake. Call me." Then another, "My cards aren't working. Fix it." He ignored them, driving to the storage unit from her text. Using her code, he found 3 boxes of clothes and his laptop. Missing were his grandfather's cufflinks, their wedding album, a letter from his dad, pieces of his soul. Fury flared, then cooled. This wasn't about money. It was about erasure. At a Lodo coffee shop, Evan tapped into restricted financial databases. Pierce Tech was a mess, $300,000 in debt, unpaid leases, and a $100,000 loan co-signed by Lila tied to their joint assets without his consent. A twist hit. Logan's startup was a front, funneling money to offshore accounts. Lila's $200,000 was the latest deposit. Evan's blood ran cold. She wasn't just cheating, she was in on a scam. Then his phone pinged, an alert from a tracker he'd hidden in Lila's laptop bag months ago. It was active, pinging from a Denver hotel. She never left town. Evan Carter sat in the Lodo coffee shop, the hum of Denver's morning crowd fading as he stared at his laptop. Lila's text, $200,000 stolen, his life packed away, had ignited a fire. As a forensic accountant, he lived for unraveling lies, and Lila's were piling up. The tracker he'd hidden in her laptop bag pinged from a downtown Denver hotel, not San Francisco. She hadn't left town. Worse, her lover, Logan Pierce, was running a sham startup, Pierce Tech, funneling her money offshore. Evan wasn't just betrayed, he was targeted. He texted his brother, Nate, the cybersecurity guru. "Dig into Pierce Tech and Lila's accounts. Everything you can find." Nate replied, "Already on it. This guy's shady as hell." Evan trusted Nate's knack for cracking digital walls. He checked his financial system. The $200,000 transfer was frozen, flagged as fraud. Lila's attempts to access his private accounts, 5 in the last day, were blocked. His phone buzzed with her text, "Evan, this is a mix-up. Call me." Then another, "My cards are dead. Fix this." He ignored them, his focus cold and clear. Evan pulled up Pierce Teka's records. The startup was a house of cards, $300,000 in debt, unpaid vendors, and a $100,000 loan co-signed by Lila using their joint assets without his consent. A deeper dive revealed Logan's offshore accounts, one linked to the Caymans where Lila's $200,000 had landed. But a new twist hit. An email from Logan to Lila, intercepted by Nate, read, "Keep Evan in the dark. Once we cash out, we're set." Lila wasn't just cheating, she was complicit in Logan's scam. Nate called. "Got more," he said, voice tense. "Lila's been wiring money to Pierce Tech for months, $90,000 total before the big hit. She labeled them consulting fees on your joint account. And get this, Logan's startup is a front. No product, no clients, just shell companies." "How's she tied in?" Evan asked, gripping his coffee. "She co-signed a $250,000 loan for tech development," Nate said. "Used your marital assets as collateral. No record you approved it." "That's fraud," Evan said, his voice low. "Yup," Nate said. "And Logan's emails show he's planning to bolt once the money clears." "Send it all to Rachel," Evan said, naming his lawyer. "Now." He forwarded the files to Rachel with a note. "Lila's in on Logan's scam. Forged my name on loans. File for divorce and lock down my assets." Rachel replied, "This is dynamite. I'm filing for an emergency asset freeze today. Meet me tomorrow." Evan nodded to himself, the plan locking into place. Lila thought she'd played him. She was about to crash. At his office in Denver's Union Station, Evan sifted through Logan's financials. Pierce Teka's website screamed innovation, but its books told a different story: fake invoices, ghost employees, and a lease on a Lodo office 6 months behind. A photo showed Lila and Logan at a tech summit, her arm around him, smiling. Evan's chest tightened, not with jealousy, but with betrayal's sharp sting. He'd funded her dreams only for her to bankroll Logan's lies. His phone buzzed, Lila's voicemail, "Evan, the bank's freezing everything. I didn't mean for this. Please call me." Her voice cracked, but Evan felt nothing. Then a new text, from an unknown number, "Leave Lila alone, or you'll pay. Logan." Evan saved it, evidence mounting. He replied, "Check your accounts, Logan." Let him squirm. Evan drove to Nate's Rhino loft, tech gear strewn across the space. Nate handed him a USB drive. "Logan's emails confirm he's using Lila," he said. "He's got a second phone, registered in the Caymans, coordinating with a partner. I'm tracing it now." "A partner?" Evan asked, leaning forward. "Someone local," Nate said. "I hacked a burner phone's logs. Logan's been texting a guy named Vince, meetings at that hotel where Lila's bag pinged." Evan's pulse spiked. "She's not just with Logan. There's a third player." "Looks like it," Nate said. "I'll keep digging." The next morning, Evan met Rachel at her office. She spread documents across her desk. "Lila's $250,000 loan is fraudulent," she said. "Your name's on it, but the signature's forged. The bank's investigating, and they're not happy. Logan's startup is a shell, offshore accounts, fake contracts. Lila's complicit. Can we prove the forgery?" Evan asked. "We're close," Rachel said. "Nate's data is gold. If we confirm it, she's facing charges. And Logan? His loans collapse without your assets. The bank's moving to seize his office." Evan nodded. "Good." Back at the coffee shop, Evan checked the tracker. Lila's bag was still at the hotel. He cross-referenced Nate's burner phone logs. A text from Vince to Logan read, "She's getting nervous. Keep her on board." Evan's blood ran cold. Lila wasn't just a pawn, she was a loose end in a bigger scheme. His phone buzzed, "Rachel, bank's escalating. They want Lila's signature samples. Mediation's tomorrow." Evan leaned back, the pieces falling into place. Lila and Logan were unraveling, and a third player was about to surface. Evan Carter sat in his Denver hotel room, the tracker's signal from Lila's laptop bag pulsing on his screen. She was still at the downtown hotel, not San Francisco, her $200,000 theft and forged loans tying her to Logan Pierce's sham startup, Pierce Tech. His brother Nate's findings had exposed a third player, Vince, a mystery contact in Logan's burner phone logs. Lila wasn't just cheating, she was entangled in a deeper scam. Evan's phone buzzed, Lila's text, "Evan, I'm scared. Please talk." He ignored it, his focus like steel. Nate's latest hack revealed more. Logan had been funneling Lila's money to a Cayman account while Vince, listed as a consultant, was pushing Logan to keep Lila committed. An email from Vince read, "She's your ticket. Don't let her bolt." Evan's stomach churned. Lila was a pawn in a bigger game, but her betrayal was no less sharp. He checked his financial system. Lila's 18 failed attempts to access their frozen account and a rejected $30,000 loan application showed her panic rising. Evan called Nate. "Who's Vince?" "Still digging," Nate said. "He's local, tied to a shell company, Vantage Consulting. No real address, just a P.O. box. But his texts to Logan mention a big payout once Pierce Tech closes. I'm tracing his burner now." "Keep it," Evan said. "And check the hotel's guest list." "On it," Nate replied. "This is bigger than we thought." By noon, Evan drove to Pierce Tech's Lodo office, a glass-fronted space with a for-lease sign already up. Logan was inside, pacing, his phone pressed to his ear. Evan entered unannounced, catching Logan's startled glance. "We need to talk," Evan said, voice low. Logan hung up, forcing a grin. "Back to gloat." Evan tossed a folder on the desk. "Your startup's a fraud. Offshore accounts, fake contracts, and Lila's money propping it up. She forged my name on your $250,000 loan." Logan's eyes narrowed. "She wanted in. It's her call. You used our marriage as collateral," Evan said. "That loan's void. The bank's coming for you." Logan stepped closer, voice tight. "You think you're clever, freezing accounts? I've got backups. Walk away or this gets messy." "Messy's your style," Evan said, unflinching. "Not mine." He left, Logan's glare burning into his back. At the hotel, Evan checked the tracker. Lila's bag hadn't moved. His phone pinged Rachel, his lawyer. "Bank's got Lila's signature samples. The $250,000 loan's forgery is confirmed. They're escalating to the DA. Mediation's tomorrow." "And Logan?" Evan asked. "His office is done. Bank's seizing assets. He's got nothing without your money." Evan nodded. "Good. Any word on Vantage Consulting?" "Shell company," Rachel said. "We're tracing it. Looks like a front." That evening, a courier dropped a package at Evan's hotel, his grandfather's cufflinks, their wedding album, his dad's letter. No note, but it reeked of Logan's desperation. Evan set them on the desk, a bitter reminder of what Lila tried to erase. His phone buzzed, Lila's voicemail. "Evan, the bank's after me. I didn't know Logan's plan. Please, help me." Her voice trembled, but Evan felt only resolve. She'd chosen this. He met Nate at his Rhino loft, screens glowing with data. "Vince is Vincent Malone," Nate said, pulling up a photo. "Ex-con, fraud charges a decade ago. He's meeting Logan at the hotel tomorrow. I hacked their texts. He's pressuring Logan to ditch Lila once the Cayman's account clears." Evan's jaw tightened. "She's a loose end to them." "Yup," Nate said. "But here's the kicker. Malone's linked to a bigger player, a venture capitalist, Elena Ruiz, who's been funding Logan's startup as a money laundering front." Evan leaned forward. "Can we prove it?" "Working on it," Nate said. "Give me a day." The next morning, Evan's assistant, Tara, called. "Lila's at the office, freaking out. Says she needs you now." "Tell her to call Rachel," Evan said, heading out. "She mentioned Logan and some guy named Vince," Tara said. Sounded scared. Evan paused. "I'm coming." At the office, Lila stood in the lobby, her sleek blazer hiding her panic. "Evan," she said, eyes red, "the bank's threatening charges. Logan lied to me. I didn't know his startup was fake." "You forged my name," Evan said, voice icy. "Stole $200,000. You knew enough." Her hands shook. "Vince pushed Logan. I thought we were building something real." "You used our marriage to fund a scam," Evan said. "Talk to my lawyer." Lila's voice broke. "What's going to happen to me?" "You'll find out tomorrow," Evan said, walking away. Back at the hotel, Nate texted, "Got Malone's burner logs. He's meeting Logan at 3 p.m. hotel bar. Elena Ruiz might show." Evan checked the tracker. Lila's bag was still there. A new alert flashed. Lila tried transferring $15,000 to Vantage Consulting. Blocked. Evan's mind raced. Lila was still playing, but the net was closing. Tomorrow's mediation would crack the scheme wide open. Evan Carter gripped his phone in his Denver hotel room, the tracker on Lila's laptop bag still pinging from the downtown hotel. Her betrayal, $200,000 stolen, forged loans tied to Logan Pierce's sham startup, Pierce Tech, had spiraled into a web of fraud involving Vincent Malone, an ex-con, and a venture capitalist, Elena Ruiz. Nate's hacks revealed Pierce Tech as a money laundering front with Lila as a pawn. Her latest voicemail trembled. "Evan, I'm in over my head. Help me." Evan deleted it, his resolve unshaken. He checked his financial system. Lila's 22 failed attempts to access their frozen account and a rejected $25,000 loan showed her desperation. Nate's text came through. Malone and Logan are meeting at the hotel bar, 3 p.m. Elena Ruiz confirmed attending. I've got their burner logs. Evan's pulse quickened. The net was tightening, and today's mediation would be the breaking point. He called Rachel, his lawyer. What's the status? Bank's got proof Lila forged your signature on the $250,000 loan, Rachel said. They're pushing fraud charges to the DA. Logan's office is being seized. We're ready for mediation. And Elena Ruiz? Evan asked. Her firm's linked to Vantage Consulting, Rachel said. If Nate's data holds, she's the puppet master. Evan drove to Pierce Tech's Loto office. The for-lease sign now joined by a bank notice. Logan was inside, boxing files, his face haggard. Evan entered, voice calm. Your startup's a front, Logan. Lila's money, my assets, laundered through your shell companies. Logan slammed a box down. You've got no proof. Back off, or you'll regret it. I've got emails, loans, and bank records, Evan said. You're meeting with Malone and Ruiz today? I know about it. Logan paled. You're bluffing. Am I? Evan said, holding his gaze. The bank's coming for you. So's the DA. He walked out, leaving Logan frozen. At the hotel, Evan lingered near the bar, spotting Logan and Malone in a corner. A woman, sharp suit, cold eyes, joined them. Elena Ruiz. Evan snapped a discreet photo, texting it to Nate. Confirm her. Nate replied, That's Ruiz. Her firm's tied to 3 other scams. She's using Logan to clean dirty money. Evan's jaw tightened. Lila wasn't just a fool. She was a tool in Ruiz's game. His phone buzzed. Lila. Evan, I didn't know about Logan's lies. Meet me before it's too late. He ignored it, heading to Rachel's office for mediation. Lila was already there, her polished look fraying. Eyes red, hands fidgeting. Her lawyer, a slick talker, spoke first. My client seeks a fair asset split. She's open to compromise. Rachel slid a folder across the table. Lila forged Evan's signature on a $250,000 loan, funneled $90,000 to Pierce Tech, and used marital assets without consent. The bank's pursuing fraud charges. Lila's lawyer skimmed the documents, his confidence cracking. We need time to review. No time, Rachel said. The DA's involved. Evan's offering a deal. Lila keeps her car, her accounts, and takes her debts. No alimony. Lila's voice shook. Fraud charges? Evan, you can't let this happen. You forged my name, Evan said, ice in his tone. Stole $200,000. You did this. I thought Logan's startup was legit, she said, tears spilling. Vince said it was a sure thing. Vince and Logan used you, Evan said. And you used me. Her lawyer whispered urgently, but Lila shook her head. What about Logan's business? Rachel answered. The bank's seizing it. His loans are void without Evan's assets. Lila's face crumpled. I didn't mean to hurt you. You did, Evan said. Sign the deal. As Lila signed, a courier arrived at Evan's hotel. Inside the package were his dad's letter, their wedding album, and a note. I'm sorry, Lila. Evan set it aside, unmoved. His phone pinged. Nate. Ruiz just left the hotel. Logan's panicking. Texts show he's planning to flee. Evan forwarded it to Rachel. Get this to the bank. Back at his system, he saw Lila's final attempt to transfer $10,000 to Vantage Consulting, blocked. The scam was collapsing, and Evan was one step ahead. Evan Carter stood on the balcony of his new Boulder bungalow, the flat irons glowing under the evening sun. Lila's betrayal. $200,000 stolen. Forged loans tied to Logan Pierce's fraudulent startup, Pierce Tech, had collapsed in a tense mediation. She'd signed the settlement, keeping her car and accounts but taking on her debts. The bank's fraud probe loomed over her, while Logan's empire crumbled under seizure. A third player, venture capitalist Elena Ruiz, was exposed as the scam's mastermind. Evan felt no triumph, only release. The bungalow, a fixer-upper with weathered charm, was his fresh start. He'd moved in days after mediation, trading Denver's sleek loft for a place with soul. Unpacking the last box, he set his grandfather's cufflinks, his dad's letter, and their wedding album, returned by Lila with her apology, on a shelf. A memory flickered. Lila laughing at a Boulder Creek picnic, early in their marriage, her eyes bright with promise. The contrast to her lies stung, but Evan let it fade. He'd ignored the signs, her secrecy, her consulting trips for too long. Never again. His phone, once flooded with Lila's pleas, was quiet. Her final text after signing read, "I'm sorry, Evan. I lost myself." He'd deleted it. Logan's last message, a desperate "you'll pay for this," was saved for Rachel, his lawyer. Nate, his brother, dropped by with pizza, settling on the half-finished porch. "Heard from Lila?" Nate asked, cracking a soda. "Nope," Evan said, leaning back. Her Instagram's all Portland vibes now. Rebirth quotes. No mention of the mess. "And Logan fled to Vegas," Evan said. "Pierce Tech's office is gone, seized by the bank. Posts about new ventures. But he's done." Nate grinned. "And Elena Ruiz?" "Under investigation," Evan said. "Rachel sent the bankmates data on her money laundering. Feds are circling." Rachel called the next morning. "The DA's charging Lila with fraud," she said. "Your statement, not pressing charges, might reduce her sentence, but she's liable for the $250,000 loan. Logan's facing charges too. He skipped town, but they'll find him." "And Ruiz?" Evan asked. "Her firm's assets are frozen," Rachel said. "Nate's evidence was key. You're clear." Evan exhaled. "Thanks, Rachel." He spent the day painting the bungalow's living room, the rhythm grounding him. A neighbor, a retired teacher with a warm smile, stopped by. "Making this place your own?" she asked, eyeing the paint cans. "Trying," Evan said, brushing sweat from his brow. "It's got good bones," she said. "You'll do it justice." Evan nodded, feeling a spark of belonging. Boulder's quiet streets, far from Denver's tech buzz, felt real. That night, Evan sat on the porch with a whiskey, the mountains a dark silhouette. He thought of the last 8 years, how he'd let Lila shape his life, chasing her dreams while ignoring her drift. Her lies, Logan's scam, Ruiz's shadow, all exposed because he'd trusted his gut. His dad's letter, now on the shelf, held a line he'd forgotten. "Truth finds a way, son." It had. His phone pinged. "Nate, cabin in Estes Park, next weekend? Fishing like Dad." Evan smiled, picturing their father's old spot by the Big Thompson River. "I'm in," he replied. The next day, he told his assistant, Tara, he'd take 2 weeks off. "No emails," she teased. "I'll try," Evan laughed, already packing his truck. At a diner en route to Estes Park, Evan found a note in his dad's letter, tucked in the returned album, "You're stronger than you know." He tucked it away, the words settling deep. Lila's Instagram popped up later, Portland hikes, Zen captions, no hint of her legal woes. Logan's Vegas posts were the same, flashy, hollow. Ruiz's firm was splashed across news sites, her empire unraveling. Evan scrolled past untouched. At the cabin, Evan cast a line into the river, the water's rush steadying him. No fish bit, but it didn't matter. He wasn't a victor in some revenge saga. He was free to rebuild, to choose his own path. The mountains stood silent, and for the first time in years, Evan felt whole.